Super proud of Christian for wanting the ball and gotten it out and giving us. We were at the high end going to go 50 pitches or 3 innings with him. You could tell even after the first inning, the velo started dropping off, but he gutted it out and gave us what he could. Just super proud of the way he battled through and gave us the 2 2/3 that he could. I mean, that's we were going to be stretched pretty thin if we couldn't just get even a couple innings out of him was all we were hoping for. And what can you say about a kid that just wants the ball and to help out for a couple innings if he can, and he did. So hats off to him, proud of him for that. Jonah Giblin, Leb, Piv, Stevenson, they all came in and threw the ball outstanding, and that's exactly what we needed because God knows our offense didn't show up again. So we needed a good pitching performance, and they delivered today. So super proud of those guys for holding down a very capable offense in UCLA and keeping the ball in the ballpark on a day where the ball was flying today. Just you couldn't tell because nobody squared much up today. But those guys threw the ball outstanding, and that's what we needed today.
To have such a low pitch count day today of all days when you have a tournament coming up, what does that do for you?
As ideal, I guess, as it can be from a pitching standpoint, just to have those guys fresh for Tuesday, and we're not sure who we play yet, but having all those guys available for Tuesday because we might have to have kind of another spit and glue type day on Tuesday until we get back to our regular rotation weekend guys. I don't foresee bumping any of those guys up early. We'll talk about it as a staff, but unless it's dire need at this point, I don't know if it's worth moving those guys up. We'll see, but I think we, with the arms that went out there today, the way they did to pitch today, I'll throw those guys right back out there on Tuesday.
I know you're serious about obviously pitch control and et cetera, but all your pitchers gave up 0 walks today. I did ask Sam Frost this, but what is your overall opinion on this performance?
We've been preaching it all year, and it finally came to fruition today. So, man, I didn't notice that until you said that, but that's how you win low-scoring, close games is by not giving up free bases. And we gave up our fair share yesterday, but today, we don't win that game if we walk guys. We force them to put the ball in play, and defense played well today, no errors, and made every play. And you give us an opportunity to win. We did not swing the bats very well at all, but when you keep it close, you give someone a chance to run into one and win a game. So potentially with the season on the line, that's a big performance by our pitching staff.
You talked about those bats, and you were saying on Thursday that you need to see more aggressive hitting the remainder of the series. What did you see out of that the last couple of days, especially today with a lot of hard contact, lineouts, flyouts, etc.?
I didn't think we swung the bats very well at all today, personally, and I think a little bit of that is we're trying to put our finger on it. I think some of it is a lot of these guys are young. This is a taxing season mentally, I think, more than anything. As you get down to the wire and all these games matter against good teams, I think you don't want to admit it, but I think maybe some of them are a little bit mentally fatigued as we're getting down toward the end here. And then usually what happens when you start getting mentally fatigued is you start chasing out of the zone and you're not ready for the pitches that you do get to hit, and you're a little bit late. And that's what I'm seeing is guys just are a little bit tardy on pitches they should be aggressive on. So we as a staff are going to have to maybe adjust here in the near future on the amount of reps that we're going to allow them to take, and just work on more quality reps versus quantity. Try to kind of get some energy back in them and get their minds right for this stretch run here. So I told them now's the fun part. Regular season's over, nothing you can do about numbers or statistics or whatever else they look at, but now it's just all about winning baseball games and being mentally sharp for the guy next to you.
What are some ways to kind of adjust that mindset from a coaching standpoint? And also, to add on to that, what are some ways that you used to switch that fatigue mindset back when you used to play?
I think from a coaching standpoint, like I said, I think we got to limit honest feedback from them. Is something that we met quickly after the game and just talked about it. And I said, I'm not gonna call you a wuss or anything. You just got to be honest with me. What's going on here? Because you guys have really, fallen off the cliff here offensively. What's going on? And a couple guys, said we're a little bit mentally drained, I think, and pressing, trying too hard. And so, again, from a coach's standpoint, I think the honest feedback is one thing. We'll have to, again, adjust on the amount of reps we do, I think, and focus more on quality reps and not as many. I told them, look, guys, I dug out I spent my whole career digging out of holes offensively. And when you start getting mentally fatigued, you have to remain confident. I told them to go back, watch all their base hits. You guys are good hitters. Just watch your base hits and start feeling that confidence again. And put yourselves in those mindsets and those moments where you were successful. And when these guys are going well, this is one of the better hitting teams I've ever been a part of. So they can hit. It's just right now we got to get the confidence, that little bit of that mojo back. And once they start believing, hitting's contagious. You guys know that. It takes one or two guys to start getting going, and then we all go, hopefully.
I was just gonna ask, other factors like just the nature of baseball, or maybe opposing teams pitching your younger guys differently than they were pitched early in the season, or are you seeing any other kind of factors like that?
I think we faced better pitching staffs as of late too. UCLA is always known to be able to pitch. They aren't throwers; they're pitchers. They hit their spots. They change speeds. They pitch backwards a little bit. They get you thinking and nibbling. USC at their ballpark is, as you saw, was awful tough. We squared a lot of balls up, but didn't go anywhere. But that kind of was the start of the mind games they started playing with themselves. Stanford was a very good staff. We swung the bats good against Stanford. So, but bottom line is just kind of getting back to the basics, and told them to take tomorrow completely off. I don't want guys in here hitting tomorrow. Just stay away. Just go to the banquet and enjoy that part of it, and we'll get back to work on Monday and keep it short and get back to work on Tuesday. Whoever we play, we'll be aggressive against whoever we're playing.
You watch the postseason projections, RPI, like how much investment is that, and does that have any sort of calculus on your decision making on whatever you do with your team?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't. It's important for us to know where we stand. You try not to, even though I'm sure the players probably look at the same stuff I do, but you try not to make that the emphasis. You play on the emphasis of going out and playing winning baseball and let that RPI stuff take care of itself. But, for me, it is part of my job is to know where we stand and what we have to do and manage accordingly. I haven't checked, obviously, today with where we stand. We'll see where we're at the end of the weekend. But, I think going into, I think we're hopefully in decent shape. But, we want to go into this Pac-12 tournament with the emphasis of trying to win this thing. So that's our mindset. Whoever we play, we got to get hot, and we'll try to beat whoever we put in front of us and take one step at a time.
So do you use any of that as in conversation with the players about, hey, like we need to win a couple of these games, or is it just fill one game at a time kind of mentality?
It's the same in baseball. You start looking ahead too many games, it bites you. So for us, it's win on Tuesday. Whoever we play Tuesday and they put in front of us, knock them down and beat them and play winning baseball. And at the end of the day, if we want to make a run at this thing, regardless, we're going to have to start playing better baseball, top to bottom. So that should be the emphasis, not what if. It's no, let's just go play good baseball and play winning baseball, and we're going to have to play that anyway. If we get in, we're going to have to play much better baseball if we want to make a run at this thing.
It was a pretty up and down weekend in terms of the emotions riding high with the walk-off, and then personally for you, senior day and the alumni coming in and that getting honored yesterday as well. How important is it to just reset, and do you just try to put the regular season behind, and is it
Yeah, I mean, right, now it's, as I told these guys, the fun starts now. Now it's all tournament baseball. Your personal accolades don't matter. It's all about playing for the guy next to you and playing for the name on the front of the jersey. And this is when it gets fun. And you can. The good news is we've seen what we're capable of pitching, and we've seen what we're capable offensively. We had yet to put them both together, and if we can put both of them together and get hot, I like this team a lot.
Yeah, in today's performance, the UCLA pitching staff delivered two or three 1-2-3 innings. So when coming into the Pac-12 tournament, how do you guys fix that? Whether that be kind of batting aggressiveness or maybe staying more patient at the plate?
We're not going to change what's been successful for us all year. We just got to get better at it. We're an aggressive team. We need to get back to being aggressive. So, to me, you can't. You have a weapon in your hand when you're in the batter's box. You can't be passive. You got to be aggressive and let's go. And right now, that's part of the mind adjustment that we have to make.
Early in the season, you talked a lot about trying to set the right culture, effort intensity, all those things. How have the players sort of handled going through a stretch that wasn't successful in those areas?
At times you question some things, but at the end of the day, I think the mindset is still maturing. I think in those areas to where they bounce back all year long from tough games, from tough weekends, from early deficits in the middle of games and come back and won. So the fight is in there. The desire to come back and be resilient is in there with these guys. As I said, I think late in the year here playing against, so many good teams late in the year, it's worn them down a little bit mentally, but you got to remember we got 5 or 6 freshmen in the lineup that have never done this before. This is their first time. So, now that they understand it, and like I said, it's a good time to now reset. The regular season's over. Okay, no more worrying about where we stand or what that's in the past. Now it's just go play baseball and play winning baseball, and hopefully that'll give them a nice reset button going into this thing next week and hopefully beyond.
You said it was all about honesty, so about Nick McClain, obviously you got out of that slump and obviously hit that no-doubter. Did you say something to him before a game, what do you think of his performance or his overall performance?
I talked to the group as a whole, just on whatever's happened in the past doesn't mean anything today. So wipe it away for 3 hours, play for the guy next to you, lock in for him, and go play today. And that was pretty much the message to these guys. Sometimes you can regurgitate stuff to them to where it falls upon deaf ears. And to me, I feel like I'm getting close to that point. I don't want to just keep preaching on them and harping on them because I think they're trying and they're pressing, and that's part of the issue. But at the end of the day, as it pertains to Nick, obviously he's a talented kid, and Graham and I were talking at some point he's going to have a big moment this weekend. At some point it's got to happen. It's baseball. It's poetic like that. You're going to have your big moment at some point, and he took it right down the wire to have his moment, but he got his moment. So, and couldn't have come in a better time.
And are you, just jumping ahead of the gun, but are you excited to rematch against any of the Pac-12 opponents in the Pac-12? Is there a particular opponent, or are you just treating it all the same?
My feelings toward each opponent in our conference are the same. So I don't. I grew up when I was at this program. We were everybody's biggest rival, and my mindset is the same for everybody we play.
What do you think about the pool play format? You played Stanford will be in your pool, so.
It's. I think it. I like the adjusted format better. I think it's going to limit the long days, hopefully, and make every game just kind of only 3 games a day. There's an off day mixed in there, which will be good for a lot of teams. So we, as a conference, you kind of look at that and go, okay, do we really want to beat each other up before we go to the postseason? Is that really the smartest thing to do? And so we had to kind of look at the format and say, okay, that we got to give maybe an off day in there so we don't, beat the crap of our pitching staff before. It's like, okay, if we're a conference and we're trying to get more teams to go out there and be successful, why are we beating the crap out of each other, to the point to where we have no arms left when we do get in the postseason. So that was a good adjustment, I think, on the conference's part, to at least mix an off day in there and make it to where there is championship games on Saturday now, to where we'll get hopefully more audience and more viewing on that, national recognition on that, and hopefully that'll be good for our conference.